A substitute teacher asked my 12-year-old son a question that got her fired. Spencer is usually a talker. The kid gives me a full recap of his day before I even put the car in drive. Who said what? Who got in trouble? Which teacher made a corny joke that only Spencer laughed at? So when I picked him up and got nothing but silence, I knew something was wrong. How was school? Fine, fine. The word every parent dreads. I glanced at him. He was staring out the window like it owed him money. Anything interesting happen? No. His hands were fidgeting with his backpack strap. That's his tell. Has been since he was 6. Spencer, what happened? He didn't answer for a full block. Then quietly, Dad, is it okay if a teacher asks you stuff? Like personal stuff? My grip on the steering wheel tightened. What kind of personal stuff? Like about our family and money and... He trailed off. Who asked you this? He finally looked at me. The substitute. That night, Spencer told me everything. The substitute had turned a simple icebreaker into a public interrogation. She'd asked him if his parents were still together, if we owned our house or rented, if we could afford nice things, or if he was on the free lunch program in front of the whole class. Some kids laughed. Spencer just sat there, frozen, while a grown woman picked apart his life like it was a class discussion. She told the class she was just getting to know everyone. I called the school first thing the next morning. The secretary transferred me to the vice principal like I was a telemarketer she couldn't hang up on fast enough. Mr. Herrera, I understand your concern, but she's new. She was just trying to build rapport. Rapport, right, because humiliating a 12-year-old is really bonding. I demanded a meeting with the principal. That took 2 days and 3 voicemails. When I finally sat across from Principal Dawkins, he looked at me like I was wasting his time. Your son may have misunderstood the context. He understood it fine. So did every kid who laughed at him. Dawkins leaned back in his chair. Mr. Herrera, I'd hate to see this become a bigger issue than it needs to be. That was a threat. A polite one, but a threat. I went home that night ready to burn the whole district down. Then Spencer knocked on my door. Dad, I have something. He handed me his phone. He'd been recording a voice memo for a class project when the substitute started her little game show. I pressed play. It was worse than he'd described. Way worse. When it ended, I looked at my son. School board meeting is Thursday. You okay if I play this? He nodded. Good. Thursday night, school board meeting. I signed up for public comment and got 3 minutes. Principal Dawkins was in the front row. When he saw me walk in, his smile disappeared. I introduced myself, gave Spencer's grade, said my son was humiliated by a substitute teacher, and when I reported it, I was told to drop it. A board member raised an eyebrow. The school addressed this internally. Did they? I pulled out my phone. Because I'd love to know what addressed means. I connected to the room's speaker system, pressed play. The whole room heard it. The substitute asking Spencer if his dad had a real job, asking if we rented or owned, asking if his sneakers were from Walmart, asking in front of 30 kids if his family was struggling. Then the laughter. Then Spencer's silence. When it ended, nobody moved. A board member took off her glasses. Principal Dawkins, how long have you known about this? He opened his mouth. Nothing came out. The superintendent leaned forward. I'd like to know the same thing. I didn't have to say another word. The board voted that night. Substitute terminated immediately. Investigation opened into how the complaint was handled. Formal apology issued to Spencer. Principal Dawkins announced his early retirement 3 weeks later. I walked out of that meeting and called Spencer from the parking lot. It's over, bud. Did they listen to the whole thing? Every second. He was quiet for a moment then. Good. Funny thing about standing up, once you do it, other people find the courage to stand up too. 3 more families reached out. Same story, different kids. The substitute's teaching career is over. Dawkins is gone. And Spencer learned something they don't teach in 7th grade. Sometimes the people in charge are wrong, and sometimes you have to be the one to prove it. He still tells me about his day on the drive home. Last week he said his history teacher made a joke so bad the whole class groaned. He laughed anyway. That's my kid.